Anyway, we got to talk about everyone's favorite state, Minnesota, okay? Because right now, Tim Walz is getting obliterated. But first, Ilhan Omar had a few things to say.
When I was in college, I took a terrorism class.
Right, so graduated with a degree in terrorism. We have Ilhan Omar, representative of retard Minnesota. I'm sorry if you're a Minnesotan. It must suck. But I have to show you what's been going on. This all happened today. Everything in this video happened today. Definitely subscribe for the up-to-date shit, because I cover all the shit. All the shit that's up-to-date you have here, and I'm more than happy to help walk you through the retards and literally shit on their faces and down their throats, because they deserve it. Anyway, so before this gigantic fraud thing started, right, this testimony of all this fraud, this $18 billion of fraud in Minnesota started, you have to see what they ask.
Recognize Ms. Ansari.
Mr. Chairman, it's outrageous that this is what we're choosing to spend our time on the Oversight Committee. At the first one...
Fraud? It's outrageous. What's fraud? Fraud's outrageous to talk about?
Fraud?
At the first one, yes, fraud, because let's talk about fraud.
It's outrageous to be discussing this at this time. We should be handling much more important things. And the guy's like, discussing fraud? Like $18 billion of fraud that just disappeared? Well, yes, now that you mention it. I can't believe these people are real. I can't believe they're real. Like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. You know when you're a kid and your dad tells you when you break something that you have to work really hard in order to pay your dad back or something, and you're all crying about it, you don't get it, and your dad says to you, hey, son, you don't understand what hard work is really like. You haven't worked a day in your life, all right? You got everything for free, all right? And you're a kid and you're bitching and whining. You don't really get it. I feel like that's the left, because it's this unbelievable party of freeloaders and parasites, all right? The people that they're importing to the country illegally, they didn't earn their keep. People that didn't earn their job, quite literally. They didn't earn the income that they make. They're on welfare. They're on government benefits and social bullshit. All right, they want free houses and free this and free that and communist garbage. They quite literally do not understand the value of a hard day's work. So for them, discussing fraud is insane. It just means someone beat the system. And so you have to understand, this is communist bullshit that's rising up again, and it needs to be squashed. So I have to show you a couple of Tim Walz clips. Like, dude, this guy aged 20 years in the last 6 months. It's insane. I have to show you this guy getting eviscerated.
Do you know who Victoria Eileen Harwell is?
I do not believe I do.
What about American Mafalda Tyer?
I don't believe I do.
There. These are Minnesota women who were brutally killed by illegal aliens in your state.
The thing that doesn't happen.
You don't know who they are, so I would also assume that you did not attend their vigils or speak out to their families when they were brutally killed by illegal aliens.
I'm not familiar with both of these, no, Congresswoman.
No, just the hard-hitting CNN ones.
Complete and utter straight facts. Yeah, that's right. He'll go and talk about Renee Good, a retarded Karen lesbian that committed suicide by cop, or Alex Preddy, a retarded, fired, disgraced, violent, criminal, domestic terrorist nurse that committed suicide by cop. Those people he'll talk about endlessly, but not the real victims of this pandemic of inviting infinite illegals into our country. He didn't even know their names. Like, this is, she's completely right here. Like, he only knows about the hard-hitting CNN talking points in order to push this narrative. He doesn't give a shit about these people dying. None of that matters to these people. It's unbelievable. The mask is so off. Dude, watch him just get humiliated again and again and again. This dude has no defense for anything.
What is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congresswoman.
You know what a
I'm not
woman
here
is.
to be your prop for your obsession.
So no, he has nothing to say, because again, it's the left. The left is the party of misunderstanding reality, and it's hilarious to see it happen again and again and again. It's just this repetition of just not understanding the words that you're saying. The words that you're saying are just so confusing to me. Woman, what even is that? Did you know trans people should get abortions too?
You can't define what a woman is. You certainly can't define what fraud is. Can't even define one.
Now, I saw a lot of people saying that this is like a non sequitur. It's not a real point. It is a good point, and I'll explain to you why. Why should I ever take the word of someone that thinks there's infinite gender seriously? Like, quite literally, the discussion ends there. If you think that there's more than two genders, You're obviously retarded, and your opinion should not mean anything to me ever. Like, this is something super important and pretty primal and basic. All right, if you failed that basic test, your opinion doesn't matter. It's like not knowing 1 + 1, and I'm supposed to listen to your theories on sociology and how different ethnic groups should be imported into our country and how it'll make a cohesive, multicultural utopia. Quite literally, your opinions on anything more complex than 1 + 1 is irrelevant. That if you failed that, like, where are we going, right? And I think it's actually a really good point. These people need to be humiliated at every possible turn. All right, I think these people need to be absolutely and utterly humiliated in public as much as possible. Genesis chapter 2, male and female he made them. All right, listen, man, if you haven't passed chapter 2 of Genesis, I don't even know what we're doing here.
What a woman is, you can't define fraud. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you do any preparation
I take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the
Oh, get ready for this.
numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready?
Get ready. This is beautiful.
How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Oh, he doesn't know because he was not the governor. Remember that response.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
Oh, and he was the governor in 2024, so now he really doesn't have an excuse.
I don't have the number in front of me.
Excuse me?
As
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024
Oh my God.
as governor.
Shooting him like fish in a barrel. Oh my God, bro's getting smoked.
And you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million.
Sounds like fraud happened if you ask me. Yeah, so for some reason, it jumped 343 times the amount of autism happened. What happened between now and then? I mean, you imported people with an average IQ of 67 and also potentially fraud, question mark? All right, but again, are we really going to trust a guy who doesn't know that the difference between a man and a woman on fraud? So anyway, dude, this guy's going to jail. All right, I don't think people realize, but this is going to be landing Tim Walz in jail.
The payments are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
Oh, this is absolute cinema. Why didn't you tell the truth? That's how he starts.
Well, Chairman, we did tell you.
Oh,
and feeding our future
did
grew
you?
because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said, why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped because there were concerns, obviously.
Right, fraud.
Stop the payments.
Lots of fraud. We know that.
Then they're restarted a month later. What was the reason for restarting the payments?
my understanding was the agency believed that the court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated
think
Yeah,
that.
you lied.
You said that, didn't you? You
I
said that's
don't
why the
think-
reason you said the reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because the court did something.
Get
that
ready.
I just don't. I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying.
Oh. Court was like, he lied.
This is from the court. It says,
Oh,
Feeding Our
my.
Future versus Minnesota Department of Education correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court.
Oh, that must suck.
Here's what the judge says. Governor Tim
Awkward,
Walz told
awkward.
the media that the Minnesota Department of
You could tell and pinpoint the exact moment this man's heart was ripped in half.
Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud, but that Judge Guthman ordered payments to continue in April 2021. Next sentence. That is false.
Oh.
So you said something that wasn't true. He understates this. Judge Guthman, the
shit.
court says this. Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time.
What are you going to say about that, bald retard?
So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Yeah, why'd you lie, sir?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench,
Irrelevant?
and
Let
I
me
think
just
that
read the
interpretation.
very first sentence. The first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever
They're
your
eating
Minnesota
this
Star
man.
Tribune or whatever your paper is. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty straightforward. So the court's lying?
Well, either he's lying or the court's lying.
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the interpretation.
somebody's
You can't tell me. The court's saying you're lying. So if you weren't lying, then that means that the court is lying. Is that what you're saying?
Somebody's lying because you can't say the
Oh,
court ordered
God,
you to
this is
restart the
cinema.
payments.
Look at this fucking rat squirm. All these retards, all these fraudsters and bullshitters. They all gotta go.
And then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying
Cleaning
or the
house.
court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation.
Could
And
it
I would
be-
They
note
wanted this guy to be the vice president under Kamala.
that those
Could it be
payments.
you were trying to hide behind the court?
Were you lying, sir? Yes. Now, why were you lying, sir?
Governor? Could that maybe be the reason why you issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you never see done before? They issue a press statement saying you're wrong. The governor is wrong. His statement is, their words, not mine, false. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And you know how court work. You can appeal those, Congressman, as you want.
Oh,
I'm sure.
it's just a classic oopsie poopsie. When the court said I was lying, they probably worded it weird.
It's all about politics, Governor.
No, it's about taking care of our people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, taking care of my people, my asshole.
Anyone else.
3 million, the behavioral
Right.
intervention program went from 3.
It's about taking care of my people. Anyway, I don't know about all these instances of illegal aliens murdering my people. I don't know any about that. I don't know about any of the fraud. I didn't know about any of this shit. I just care about the people. Dude, this guy's been getting shredded by everyone.
Was your office notified of these fraud allegations?
Not me specifically, that they're handled internally in the investigation. It happens every day.
Who was notified, Governor Walz?
The agencies do their work, the commissioners, and then if someone in my office was notified, they let me know. As governor, I make, 50 decisions a day. I said I did this job for 12 years. I make more decisions in a day.
Governor Walz.
So someone was maybe notified, but the agencies are the ones that take the
May I ask
action.
the next question? We have it under sworn testimony in the Oversight Committee that your former chief of staff was notified directly by these various commissioners about the fraud in Minnesota.
That could be correct.
So are you saying that your chief of staff didn't notify you?
I'm saying I don't recall whether.
He's coming up with this whole excuse. Maybe someone else knew. Maybe it never got to me. It's like, all right, we have it written. Sworn testimony. It got to your chief of staff. Okay, so now what happened?
He did at that time or not, but we took action. So I'm assuming when we put our budgets together based on that, we put a package together for.
Bro is lying. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. He lies like he breathes, this guy.
That legislative session.
Oh my God, the dude's having the worst day of his life, for real. Not even exaggerating. And this guy keeps getting shredded constantly. Shredded. All right, get ready for this. All right, look at him trying not to be racist when he talks about Somali fraud.
How many people have been indicted in your state right now? Do you know, Governor?
I don't have those numbers with me.
You don't?
Dude had nothing. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
98 people been indicted. You happen to know how many are Somali American?
I don't. We don't investigate or prosecute people based on ethnicity, religion.
Neither do I. We shouldn't do that. But Mr. Megan is a Somali American who just said that the core one of the concerns was this is a core voting bloc. And I just want to know if you know how many of the 98 people who have been indicted in your state are Somali.
I don't. Their ethnicity is not my concern.
85% of the people indicted were Somali American.
Wow.
Key voting bloc, and I think that's what drove this whole thing.
I agree. Of course it is. Obviously. Import a community of pirates and give them infinite power, and then suddenly this keeps happening? Dude, watch him. Every single question they ask him, he just completely crumbles.
And, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you know this, but it's been widely reported that in 2008, when Barack Obama was choosing his vice presidential candidate, he had 3 criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody that wasn't as smart as him and had less talent and charisma and couldn't possibly outshine him. So he picked Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden in 2020 used the exact same criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody who wasn't as smart as him, had less talent and charisma, and wouldn't outshine him. And he picked Kamala Harris.
All right, okay. Yeah,
and then in
she's
2024, Governor, I think it's very evident why Kamala Harris picked you.
I can't believe this is happening in Congress, dude.
The talent pool, Mr. Chairman.
You fucking killed him.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, The talent pool isn't just shallow, brother.
Oh my God! Look at this. It's the whole Democratic Party. It's a clown show. They're not just some clowns. They're the entire circus. Look at them. Look at their top people. They were saying Jasmine Crockett was going to run for president. She lost her primary. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is an actual clown show with Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, a guy who just started a program to release pedophiles from prison if they've been there for too long. Too long is like 10 years or some shit. Like, dog, are you serious? Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
We have hit the shore, and I yield back.
Gentlemen. Bro literally took his time just to insult him. That's insane. The dedication is diabolical. Right, dude, it keeps getting worse, bro. It keeps getting worse. This dude gets annihilated every time.
Do you think it's racist or Islamophobic to highlight and try to stop fraud?
It is not, and I certainly wouldn't
It's
know.
not, but that was the message your administration was sending to multiple whistleblowers.
I can't speak to that.
You can't speak to that. You don't want to speak to that, I think.
Killed him. It's over. Bro, pack it up. Go home. Pack it up. Go home. It's time to go. It's time to leave.
You have failed the people of Minnesota to provide free health care to illegal aliens. You signed the Higher Education Omnibus Bill into law in May of 2023. That bill allows illegals to have their college tuition paid for by the state.
Wow.
You signed the
In other words, our taxes, all right? Whenever he says the state pays for it, it means our tax dollars pay for it. So we pay taxes. That taxes goes to illegal aliens going to college. But I was told that they're a net positive on the country. They're not. They're not a net positive on the country. Dude, this is my favorite thing ever. It's like, it's the argument I hear from like leftoid debater retards. I think I heard Destiny say this also. It's like, did you know that this illegal alien came into the country and he raped someone? And the response is like, well, actually, did you know that he raised the GDP of the country? And it's like, wait, what? so it makes the country borderline unlivable, okay? But at least the GDP is higher? Are you like, what are we doing?
Driver's License for All Act into law in March of 2023, and that bill allows illegals to receive driver's licenses. So, you claim you're not a sanctuary state. You just provide free health care, free college, and driver's licenses to illegal aliens. One reason you're here testifying before us today is because you refuse to cooperate with ICE. While states like Florida and Virginia empower their law enforcement to detain and remove criminal illegal aliens, you, sir, have done just the opposite. Your Attorney General is directing law enforcement to ignore ICE immigration detainers. Do you agree with the Attorney General's guidance?
Well, Congressman, it's good to see you again, and thank you for being here. First, I would say as my job as governor of Minnesota is to make Minnesota the best state in the nation.
Do you agree with the Attorney General's guidance?
Answer the question.
Congressman, what I would say on this is that Minnesota follows all law. I would say
it's a very easy question. And
the
again,
we follow all law here. Pay no attention to the $18 billion of fraud.
If you claim you're not a sanctuary state, you just claim that you support policies. You're not a sanctuary state, but you support policies that prevent ICE from doing their job.
Congressman,
isn't that right?
That is incorrect, Congressman. We follow the same laws when you were in the Minnesota House. The law has not changed,
If you'll allow me, I've got limited time. Well, that's what you tweeted, by the way, sir. On May 23rd, 2018, you tweeted, quote, "I support policies that keep law enforcement from enforcing federal laws," close quote. On May 17th, just this spring, at the University of Minnesota Law School's commencement ceremony, you said, quote, "Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets." When you said the words modern-day Gestapo, you were referring to ICE agents. Gestapo, by the way, sir, was the official secret police of Hitler's Nazi Germany. So you're calling ICE agents modern-day Nazis. Given the attacks on ICE agents that took place in Los Angeles over the weekend, don't you...
This dude is having the worst day of his life.
...regard your dangerous, inflammatory rhetoric as a problem?
The questions do you want me to answer first?
So, sir, it saddens me that you refuse to express regret from comparing ICE to Nazis. Dude. ICE agents are brave Americans who get up every morning.
Yeah, you got the idea. Bro's getting shredded on every single possible angle. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. This is the Attorney General of the area of Minnesota, and dude, they're just killing them.
At any point during your tenure, did you tell state agencies to stop payments due to credible fraud allegations? Yes or no?
Sir, we prosecuted over 300 people in the Medicaid fraud
That doesn't answer the question.
area.
300, I would
them.
predict is a drop in the bucket. But you've never said to stop payments. That's
It's one of the highest rates in the country, sir.
Well, you
Is dude flexing the fact that he has more fraud in his state than other states?
have one of the highest fraud rates in the country.
Bro, it's so over. It's so over. Come back next time. Okay, come back next time. All right, breaking news. This is a very American name. Abindajib Yusuf pled guilty to operating a fraudulent $6 million autism center scheme in Minnesota. So this just happened.
Also today, a guilty plea in federal court connected to a multi-million-dollar autism fraud scheme in Minnesota. The defendant accused of paying kickbacks to recruit children, fake diagnoses, and bilking the Medicaid system.
Wow.
It is a case Lou Ragoose first broke in September. He joins us with details from the newsroom. Lou?
Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. Infinite fraud. It doesn't stop. They're doing it everywhere. This is Zoran
What we are rolling
Mamdani.
out today is for parents of 2-year-olds in the neighborhoods that we have listed. It covers the neighborhoods that I've said, as well as parts of other neighborhoods that are covered within the school districts the chancellor said. All that is required is that parents live within that school district, no matter the amount of money they make, the occupation they have, their immigration status.
In other words,
so long as they
illegals.
live there, they can apply.
In other words, illegals. In other words, he's giving free childcare to illegals. In other words, he is literally stealing our money because we are paying taxes. He's taking our tax dollars. He's giving them to illegals that came into our country illegally. They should not be here, but they are here, giving it to them for their children to go to school or whatever the fuck. Not relevant. Not my business. Literally cry about it. You have to get deported. These people have to get shut down. This is fraud. In my opinion, this is straight up, utter, and blatant fraud. The idea that they could take my tax dollars and give it to people that invade our country illegally, in my opinion, it's more than fraud. It's borderline treason. This shit is insane and needs to get shut down immediately. This shouldn't be a leftist position. This should be illegal. Like, blatantly, it is actually blatantly and openly illegal. All right? It shouldn't be looked at. It shouldn't be regarded as the leftist stance. The leftist stance of stealing your taxpayer dollars and giving it to illegal invaders. That should not be a perspective at all. I don't think there should even be debate over deporting illegal aliens. The actual debate should be, how do we denaturalize a lot of the actual citizens that should have never been citizens because they lied on their immigration paperwork or because they're threats to America. All right? I think that's where the discussion needs to be. Whether we're deporting illegal aliens or not, that cannot be up for debate. They broke in illegally. They gots to go. There is no other option. So that's my stance. That's my opinion. Thank you for being here. I'll have you know, my position is a moderate position. Okay? It is a moderate position to say that, yeah, countries have borders, you can't break in illegally. And no, you should not be taking my money that I work for and give it to people that break into our country illegally. That is a moderate freaking position. The radical position is saying we should open our borders to illegal aliens, rapists, to steal our wealth and our women. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. I'm anti-rape. Nuxanor. Unlike the Democrats, the pro-rape party, I am anti-rape. So if you are anti-rape, definitely subscribe. If you're pro-rape, you should probably go watch Hassan Piker. I hear that he did some things in a brothel in Germany with a 15-year-old, but hey, that's just a very credible allegation made by a lot of people, I've heard.